Do you want Allah to love you? Do you want His help and facilitation in everything you do? Then perfect your obligatory deeds, your fara'id, and then also perform good voluntary deeds and see what happens. Did you know that when the slave of Allah performs obligatory deeds, then they draw close to Allah? And when they perfect their obligatory good deeds, and then they also perform voluntary good deeds, then Allah loves them. We come to know from a hadith Qudsi on the authority of Abu Hurairah radiallahu anh, who said that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Allah mighty and sublime be He, said, whosoever shows enmity to someone devoted to me, I shall be at war with him. My servant draws not near to me with anything more loved by me than religious duties I have enjoined upon him. And my servant continues to draw near to me with superiority works so that I shall love him. When I love him, I am his hearing with which he hears, his seeing with which he sees, his hand with which he strikes, and his foot with which he walks. Were he to ask something of me, I would surely give it to him. And were he to ask me for refuge, I would surely grant him it. I do not hesitate about anything as much as I hesitate about seizing the soul of my faithful servant. He hates death, and I hate hurting him. This was related by Al-Bukhari. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself says that I become his eyes with which he sees, I become his ears with which he hears, I become his hand with which he strikes, I become his foot with which he walks. So what does that mean? That means that in everything that a person does, he has the help of Allah. What he sees is pleasing to Allah, what he hears is pleasing to Allah, how he uses his body and faculties is pleasing to Allah. And thus, in that state, he becomes free from the influence of shaitan. Once the Prophet ﷺ said to Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anh, O Ibn al-Khattab, by him in whose hands my life is, never does Satan find you going on a way, but he takes another way other than yours. And this is in Sahih al-Bukhari. So perfect your obligatory deeds and enhance in your voluntary ones and experience the love of Allah and the ease and the facilitation to do good that comes only from Him.